Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming to the channel today. We are going to talk about Jordan Peele's Nope. I will give you guys a review, and at the end, I will give you guys my star rating. Around these parts, we do a 5-star rating from 1 to 5, or in Jordan Peele's case, from Get Out, a masterpiece, 5 stars, or Twilight Zone, which was kind of some bullshit, but whatever. We'll get to that some other time. Where do we begin with this movie? Nope. Let me first start by saying that I enjoyed Nope quite a bit, actually. I was a big fan of all the performances. Granted, the amount of time that the actors had definitely varies from character to character. You see a lot more Keke Palmer and Daniel Kaluuya than you do Keith David as the dad, you know? But knowing all that, everyone did a really good job. I do think there are standouts though. Say for example, we had Steven Yeun in the movie. He plays the character of Junpei, Ricky Park. Or was it Jupe, actually? He did a great job. Sure, he wasn't one of the main two characters, but he was fine, right? He was mysterious and weird in a way that I think will entice a lot of fans to look up more what was going on with him. He didn't do too much to overstay his welcome, and I enjoyed seeing him whenever he was on screen. Although, I would much prefer to him be off screen so he can work on Invincible, but whatever. Make your money, I won't complain, but hurry up and do Invincible. He did great. Keith David is in this movie for exactly 42 words amount of seconds. He's not really in this. He showed up, did his, I'm Keith David, I do my tough black guy Keith David voice thing, then he's gone, right? No spoilers, I won't say what happened, or don't make no inference, don't infer anything, I'm not telling you what happened. But he's not in the movie for that long. But he gives a fine, serviceable performance. Brendan Pereira is also in the movie. But really, this movie consists of 3 people that really matters. 4 people really, but I'm only going to talk about 3. Number 1, we have Daniel Kaluuya as OJ. Great job. Great job. Quiet, stoic, not too frenetic, He's a very fun character to watch just to see his deadpan delivery and that kind of humor that he has. He's really funny in terms of not trying to be funny. He's also a really smart character, and I like that too. I feel like you guys will watch this movie and really enjoy his performance. But even with that being said, knowing that he's one of the golden gooses, the darlings of Jordan Peele, right? Much in the same way that, let me give an example. What's a good example? Much in the same way that Quentin Tarantino loves to have Leonardo DiCaprio, and Leo, is a standout in a lot of movies that he's in. That's how I feel about Daniel Kaluuya and his Jordan Peele joints. The one. He's not the standout in this. A lot of this movie and how you enjoy it, or how much you enjoy it, really comes down to that of Keke Palmer and her performance as Emerald Haywood in this movie, his younger sister. While he is the stoic, quiet, kind of meek type, she's the super energetic, really grand and boisterous character who talks way too much and has a lot of the funny dialogue in the movie. She's the nope, that person. She bounces off Daniel Kaluuya well. They have this nice yin and yang thing going on that I think is very enjoyable in the movie. However, her being the standout of this movie, as far as not standout as far as oh my god, I love this movie because of her. Standout as far as okay, a lot of how I view these characters and how much I enjoy these characters are going to be in relation to how well they bounce off of her. You will either find Emerald in this movie, Keke Palmer, super annoying, chatterbox, or you're gonna fucking love her. Who really knows? It's between that two. There's not that much of a middle ground with her character. I, for one, enjoy her quite a bit. Maybe you will too. I think a lot of your enjoyment in this movie comes down on that. But that's not the only thing. So I would consider her in the pro side. Performances are pros. I think this movie is another Jordan Peele pseudo masterpiece, right? It's not quite Get Out, honestly. It's not Get Out. Whereas I felt like Get Out was very tight and concise with his characters and his narratives. This movie is very loose as far as how you choose to interpret some things, especially how you choose to interpret things in relation to the big bad, the alien in the movie. I feel like that comes with many pros and cons in itself that might put you off not understanding some things in the movie, or you might be a Jordan Peele fanatic who you love to stop watching the movie and dig deeper and conduct all these theories and revelations about what this means and what this means, or maybe this means this. Me and my friend had a very stupid revelation in the middle of the movie that I won't talk about. I almost said it, but it might be spoilery. It's also really stupid, so I won't get into that. Nonetheless, if you're one of those people who like to dive really deep into this movie, I feel like you will like this more than most other people. This is a great movie. It's not a horror movie. It's very tense and it has a lot of horror elements in it that I feel like enjoyable. But leading into one of my cons, this movie does have something of a slight pacing issue. It might be negligent. It might not be a big thing. You might like slower burn first halves, but if you were to cut this movie completely down the middle into two halves, the first half of this movie, kind of a slow burn, depending on how you view those type of things. But of course, knowing how Jordan Peele is, he lets a slow burn here and there, right? Second half of this movie, I think it's fantastic. I think it nails it. It's the Jordan Peele special. It's really good. So, a lot of how you view this movie might be in how willing are you to wait through a slow burn for like 30, 40 minutes. If that's not your thing, you might not really enjoy this movie way too much. You might think it's not that good. Some people won't. This will be a pretty divisive movie as the years go on, I feel like. But if you're willing to sacrifice that, or if you just don't think it's a slow burn at all, this is my personal opinion, I could be wrong, although I think it's a little bit of a slow burn, the second half of this movie might really make up for you. You might love the second half of this joint. With that being said, where do I put this movie as far as a greater Jordan Peele ranking? I think it's his second best movie. I think it's kind of clearly his second best. I think this movie is better than Us, because while I feel like Us had a lot of great ideas and themes, that this movie also has a lot of great ideas and themes. I think this stuck the landing, whereas I don't think Us stuck the landing. Get Out didn't have to stick the landing, even though it did, because it stuck everything else. This movie definitely falls in between those two. Almost a masterpiece, not quite, pretty good. But if I were to give this movie a rating, just from what I personally enjoy, pros and cons withstanding, there's a lot more pros than there are cons. I really enjoyed the performances. I love everything with the alien, from its reveal to what it actually was. I won't say too much about that. This isn't a spoiler discussion, but we know that's aliens, right? I think, before I get to this, have you ever seen War of the Worlds and Signs? if you have and you like those movies, you will like this movie. This movie is fucking World of Worlds and Signs, but a nice new era rendition of it. This movie is a 4 out of 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Bang, 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 bang.
God, what's up?
So yeah, it's pretty good.